Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over another one of the legendary class tier sets shown off in the Legendary Armor Week on the Outriders Twitter page. And this legendary tier set is going to be the Devastator set called Deathproof. Now before we get into the video, less than 5% of people that watch my videos are subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with all of my uploads. Now the tier set bonus for this legendary set, which you will have to have 3 pieces equipped for, is reduce the cooldown of a Boulderdash by 90%, which is absolutely ridiculous. Any ability being reduced by 90% is going to be pretty crazy. And the Boulderdash ability is charge forward to interrupt all enemies in your path and deal a certain amount of damage. At the end of the charge, you will smash the ground and deal that same amount of damage to all enemies in a small radius. And the damage numbers don't really mean anything. Those will change depending on your level and depending on your stats. So first off, we have the Deathproof mask, and all these items are going to be at item level 17, which is pretty low. So the stats really don't matter because those are going to change depending on what level you have the item at. So first we have 573 armor, bonus firepower at 99, 8.66% close range damage increase, and 9.33% healing received increase. Now for whatever reason, this piece has 2 tier 3 mods on it, which are legendary mods. Nothing else in the game baseline that I have seen, no other weapons or armors have had 2 tier 3 mods on them at the start. So I'm assuming this was actually rolled and they rolled the tier 1 mod off of this item and put a tier 3 on, because that's how every other item in the game has been. But you would most likely be rolling mods anyway, so it's not that big of a deal either way. But the first mod is Primal Weakness. Boulderdash permanently reduces resistance of all damage enemies by 50%. And that is the tier 3 mod that would be coming on this item normally. That is absolutely ridiculous. That just means right after you hit these enemies with Boulderdash, they're going to be significantly weaker and take a massive increased amount of damage. The second tier 3 mod is Primal Chain Gun. Every enemy damage by Boulderdash increases your weapon damage by 20% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. Now this is absolutely ridiculous as well, because using this tier set with a massively reduced cooldown of 90%, you would easily be able to get this stacked 5 times and most likely keep it stacked up to 5 times, giving you a 100% increase to your weapon damage. You can most likely boulder smash, shoot for a couple seconds, boulder smash again, and just keep that stack up 100% of the time. And next up, we have the Deathproof chest armor. It has 584 armor, 99 bonus firepower, 8.66% increased close range damage, and 9.33% increased healing received. Its tier 3 mod is Increased Duration, increases the skill's duration by 40%, and that's Reflect Bullets. And the Reflect Bullets skill is essentially a skill that you kind of create a invisible barrier in front of your character and catch any bullets or any projectiles being shot at you. And I'm not sure if this is baseline, but you can shoot back the projectiles. I'm not sure if that's like an additional on top of it from something or if that's just baseline for the skill. We have Primal Armor, which is the tier 1 mod, doubles your armor when your skill ends for 10 seconds, and that's on Boulderdash. With this tier set, that tier 1 mod would be able to be up pretty much 100% of the time pretty easily. So if you wanted to, you can even make this more of a really high survivability tank build. So next up we have the Deathproof Gauntlets, and this has 545 armor, increased max health of 86, 8.66% increased close range damage, and 8.66% increased healing. And the tier 3 mod for this is Kingslayer. Critical hits on an elite increases your firepower by 192 for 8 seconds. And again, this is another one of those more generic mods. It's not class specific, but it is a pretty strong mod, albeit it doesn't seem to synergize that well with the theme of the set because it's just a generally damage increasing mod. And then for the tier 1 mod, we have bullet acceleration. Increase the damage of reflected bullets by 77 for reflected bullets. Pretty much answering my earlier question that the skill does have the reflecting the bullets back after you catch them all as a base feature for that ability. And it seems that this set, even though the tier set itself doesn't give bonuses to reflect bullets, it seems that this set, at least with some of the mods, is wanting this to be a Boulderdash reflect bullets type of build. Then we have the Deathproof leg armor, 538 armor, 85 bonus firepower, 8% close range damage increase, and 8% healing received increase. And the tier 3 mod for this is not impressed. Reduce the damage taken from elites by 20%. That is an incredibly boring mod, but it's also incredibly strong. And the Devastator does seem to be the bigger, more tank close range oriented class. And it does seem like this build is trying to have a mix of still being tanky, but also having some really good damage increasing synergies. Then the tier 1 mod is auto reflect. You can now fight while the skill is active, but you cannot manually deactivate the skill. It only negates 50% of the damage, and that is reflect bullets. So essentially you're turning the skill, and this is actually kind of crazy to have on a tier 1 mod because you're pretty heavily modifying what the skill does. You're essentially, instead of putting up a shield that you have to manually have up and you can't do anything while it's there, and reflecting everything shot at you, and now only negates 50% of the damage, which is still a massive reduction, but you can still fight. So it kind of becomes just a massive damage reduction while being able to do everything you would normally be doing. And then finally, we have the Deathproof footgear, 568 armor, 86 health increase, 8% close range damage increase, and 8% healing received increase. The tier 3 mod is life of the party. Incoming damage is reduced by 5% for each enemy in close range, stacks up to 8 times. So that is a possible massive damage reduction. And again, like I just said, the Devastator is more of a close range tank type of character. And I could definitely see this specific mod being used really well with some of the weapons that we're showing off. There was one that more specifically caused like a small vortex that pulled everything in, so that could be a really good synergy with this. And again, this set just seems to be focusing on trying to make you super tanky while also giving yourself synergies for some damage increases while being very tanky and while being at close range. Tier 1 is Primal Constitution. Each enemy you damage increase your maximum health by 307 for 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, and that is for the Boulderdash ability. And that is a massive amount of health, a total of a little over 1500 health. And with that 90% reduction, you would most likely be able to keep this stacked up to 5 times very, very easily as well. And again, just trying to reaffirm being super tanky while pretty much spamming out abilities and giving yourself some extra damage synergies. And that is the entirety of the Deathproof set. And again, remember that you only need 3 of these pieces equipped. You can roll 1 mod off every one of these pieces to any other mod in the game that you want. And you could potentially use 2 other pieces with this set, adding a massive amount of customizing for whatever build you're trying to go. I could definitely see using a few of these mods, using a few of these pieces, getting like a straight Boulderdash build going with all of the stacking buff increases to Boulderdash from different mods, and just having a Boulderdash spamming build where you do a little bit of shooting in between spamming Boulderdashes and getting a massive amount of buffs that are constantly stacking and constantly being refreshed on your character. So subscribe if you want to see Outriders or other videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this legendary tier set, and thanks for watching.